Hi guys, so when you start adventure riding you will probably have the navigation unit and it's really easy to use. You just set the destination and it will guide you turn by turn.
Turn left, then you have reached your fucking destination.
But when you enter the ADV community you will soon stumble upon questions like what's a route and a track? What's a GPX file? How do I share my rides that I've done? And how do I download and ride Trans-Euro Trail? So that's the topic of today's video. And if you're a complete beginner now, you'll be a champ after a few minutes watching this video. So stay tuned. So I use all my devices when it comes to navigation. I use my laptop for planning over winter or evenings and so on. I have my mobile phone sometimes and the navigation tablet. So one initial problem may be for beginners that how do I get the projects, the trails and trips that I do on the computer or the phone and so on over to the different devices. And the simplest method there is to use a navigation software, an app that syncs online between all the devices without you doing anything. So, and you have almost every app nowadays does that, like Stegra, the Swedish Spotify of navigation, Locus Map, Osmond, Kalimoto, they all have online planning tools that automatically syncs to your devices. And DMD is also working on their own, so you will have everything set there. So if I make a route here from where I am over to here and over there, adventurous mode, finding some gravel and stuff. Now I save this and I call it the garage demo with, demo, something like that. And I save it. And then I start Stegra on the mobile phone. I open my routes. There's the garage demo. And here it is. So I can navigate that. Start riding. Whoops, like that. And then I open the tablet, start the same app. It's there again, just start riding. So easy peasy. And you can add your buddies to the same group and work together in a project and create tracks and all of that. But in reality, not all your buddies use the same app or system. Some have Garmin, some have some other apps. And also you want to download the Trans-Euro Trail or some other tracks from a website and tracks that people are sharing. And that's why you need to know about GPX files. So GPX stands for GPS Exchange Format, which means it's one file meant to be shared between people, and it contains waypoints, tracks and routes and everything for your trip. And this file can then be imported and used in all devices, Garmin's and tablets and computers and whatnot. And it's really easy to share. You can send it by email or text message and you can download from others. So let's start with importing GPX files from Trans-Euro Trail and also from your friends. So start with Trans-Euro Trail. We go to the Trans-Euro Trail website, transeurotrail.org, Sweden, and download the Swedish Trans-Euro Trail, like that. And now on our hard drive we have s.gpx. That's the GPX file with all the waypoints and tracks for Trans-Euro Trail Sweden. Now we can just open any online planner, like Stegra in this case, import the file, and it's quite a large GPX file, this one, a couple of hundred of megabytes at least. So, and since I have it already, let's just add it to a collection. TET Sweden and add to map, like so. So there we have it. Trans-Eurotrail Sweden. It's grown, it's quite large now. I really look forward to try some of those out. And since I have it in Stegra or your navigation software, I can now use it on my devices online and so on. Now let's say a friend sent me a GPX file in email this time, would work the same way in text message or something like that. I open my mail. Oh, hey buddy, here's the GPX file for today's ride, and here's the file. So what I do is I click on that to get the cryptic contents of the GPX file, but I use the open with or share icon down to the left, and I get to choose which software do you want to open this with. And if it's not in the list, you can scroll and find, I can use pretty much any navigation app, but I have Stegra on there, and now it opens, and there's the track that my buddy shared with me. So now if I want to get the GPX file on my tablet instead, DMD2 does not yet have an online planner which syncs automatically, but it's underway, it's being worked on right now, and you also have other apps and devices that does not support it. But what I do, because it's Android, is that I use on my computer Google Drive. I have Google Drive on all the devices, and I just drop a file like this day ride buddy file or Trans-Eurotrail Sweden or something like that. It's on Google Drive now, and Android is fully integrated with Google Drive. So I open the map, go to GPX, where I can have multiple GPXs. I go to load file, and it brings me the Google Drive directly in the map here. And here we have the Stegra route that I added. So click to load that, and here it is. Can pick a nicer track color. Let's make it blue. Something like that. So, and there's Matthias. Oh, nice. Not far from me, actually. So that's how I get the GPX files to my devices, mainly. If you have a Garmin device and you want to get the GPX files onto your Garmin, have a look at Thomas Hansen's video about that. I'm not a Garmin user. Neither is he, but he's experienced with that. So now let's go the other direction. Let's share some tracks that I've done with my friends. So this here on the device now is a recording. So I went out riding and I clicked to record, start record, and I ended up with my recording here. And yeah, once the ride is over, I have my recording, and I can click the share button here to open up and save it on my drive, and choose the GPX folder and select and save it there. So now it's on my Google Drive again, and I can share it with people, send an email or something like that. And in Stegra, if I saved my project here, my track that I did, I can find it here. Let's just take a GPX demo, download GPX, and now choose what to do with it. I can send it via email or messages or messenger or wherever, so it's really easy. So that's the basics on creating routes and sharing them and so on with the apps and GPX files. But there's one thing that is good to know, and that is the difference between a route and a track. So a route requires a map, and that's the navigation that you've been doing so far using Google Maps or whatever car navigator that you want. You set a destination, and the navigator takes you there using the map information that it has on which routes that are there. So that means that you can get turn by turn, because it navigates you on the different roads available. So a route needs a map. But tracks, on the other hand, are usually recorded, like when you record your ride and you end up with a file of a track. And that's on a set frequency, let's say once every 1 second or something like that. It saves a GPS location marker and the time. So it doesn't need a map, it's just geolocation dots, a breadcrumb of where you've been. And many of the GPX files that you download are tracks, which means that you will see not a step-by-step instruction how to go there. It's more like you load the track on your map, and it's like drawing lines on a paper map. You can see where you are, and if you deviate from it, you see that you leave the line and you have to find your way back. So it's just a line on a map. And actually I prefer that way when it comes to Trans-Euro Trail and stuff like that. I don't need step by step. But what you need to know is that some apps and Garmin devices and things like that, they have the option to convert a track to a route in order to get turn-by-turn directions. But since a track is just markers where someone's been, it can be out in the ocean and in over a field and so on. And when you load that on the map, you see exactly where that track goes, wherever it goes, with a map sort of as a layer just to see where it is. But if you convert that to a route, it uses the map information that your navigation device has and uses the road to make as close as possible to the track, but still using roads and trails and things like that. So if you take the Trans-Euro Trail GPX file, which is a recorded track, because it takes some fun turns and over stuff that is not always on a map. But if you then say, okay, let's ride this turn by turn, if you convert that track to a route, it will make a slightly different track than the original track. And you may not ride exactly where it was intended. And that's that. I hope I fulfilled my promise of making you sort of a champ on this at least. And I hope it was helpful if you were a total beginner on this. Yeah, so thanks for watching today. And if you haven't seen the series on how to get started riding adventure bikes, over 40 is this theme. So head over to the playlist and start from the beginning. Enjoy and thanks. Bye-bye.